talk about just a heart-filled episode of One Piece. Like, this episode definitely getting the ins and outs of the backstory of Rebecca, her relationship with the toy soldier, kind of adding up how she knows him, why she knows him, why she values him, why she looks at him as more than just some toy, and her traumatic past. Like, getting that all within this episode definitely tugged at the heartstrings a couple different times, and ultimately I was like, yo, now, this is the type of One Piece episodes I really enjoy, when you get those really sad backstories and just getting more to these characters and just, oh, this is Gladiator Rebecca with big jugs. Well, there's more to Gladiator Rebecca than just the big jugs. Now, for starters, I just quickly want to mention the art and animation. Very beautiful throughout the whole entire episode, especially during the backstory bits of her as a little kid. Everything about those scenes, they just look really nice. The art especially, it was like, my gosh, they really went all out with art and animation. I was like, can't One Piece just stay like this? Like, I would love for One Piece to just look like that most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time, you know, just really beautiful like that, because the backstory, nearly every scene just looked at the very least really nice, and I just really appreciated that as far as like getting those production qualities up there. Toei Animation, please continue this, because I was liking looking at these scenes. Now, getting a little bit more just like how Doflamingo fucked up her life, and it's kind of wedging her in a nice way, not wedging her in a bad way, into the story of, like, you know, the overall relevance to everything and why she has a gripe against Doflamingo, aside from everything we already know he's done. But just seeing what happened to her mother, very similar, and it reminds me to like a Nami backstory or a Robin backstory, losing her mother. I think Oda really, for some reason, he particularly likes to do things that way with females, like, you know, because I guess he feels like females, one of the biggest relationships that they value is the mother-daughter relationship, and losing your mother at such a young age is traumatic in and of itself, especially for a young girl to have to go through that. Not only did she lose her mother, she lost everything. She don't have nobody at this particular point but a toy soldier, and she has no idea who this guy is at this particular point. So I really like how it brings out like these big elements of emotion, and just when she was there crying, and the whole scene of her sneaking out to try to get the food for her daughter, it was just really powerful stuff. Like, this definitely wasn't, you know, as far as the grand scheme of things, like, you know, this had nothing to do with Garp or any of that, but just getting this little backstory of the tragedy that Rebecca faced and why she's in the predicament she is now and who she is now. It was really touching. I wish she would be a little bit more hardened, a little more, you know, hard-boiled, so to speak, because even as she's exiting or entering the Coliseum at the end of the episode, she has tears in her eyes and it's like she's ready to cry. But I guess that's at the same time a testament to the fact that she is 16, and it's like, you know, you forget sometimes some of these characters. I mean, Rebecca looks like she's like at the very least 18, 19, or 20 or some shit because of her figure and just overall the situation and predicament she's in. But I guess that's a testament to, at the end of the day, she is 16 and she's going to be a little bit insecure. But I would really like for some of those insecurities as this arc progresses to kind of start slowly vanishing. I mean, at the end of the day, one of the people that is in the block, you see in her flashback, Diamante, was a piece of shit to her. So I would ideally like for her to man up or brave up, so to speak, and just really go full throttle. But just getting this backstory, learning about her, it was really, you know, nicely done. And overall, I felt it was a very good episode in that aspect. It was just getting her story, learning about her, making me understand and realize why Rebecca is relevant. Why should I give a fuck about what's about to happen? Why should I care about her fight? Oh, this is why. You know, Doflamingo, piece of shit that he was back then, ruined her life, just fucked everything up for her. So definitely the backstory overall. There were a couple scenes towards the end of the backstory that it was in-canon filler, and while some of it I could argue that I did felt it provided. I know some people probably hate some of those scenes, like when the toy soldier's trying on the clothes, and to an extent, yeah, it kind of feels like a waste, but that was also adding to showing why they have such a strong relationship. If he was going that far to do silly things like that, and, you know, acting almost as if a fatherly figure, beating up boys that was trying to ask her out, beating up boys that hit her, you can definitely see that that's where the bond was formed. So it felt in a way like, oh, this is there, you know, I don't want to be there, this is filler. But at the end of the day, it also felt like it was giving some touching moments to the situation, and I'm all for that at the end of the day. If it's building upon understanding the situation, I'm all for it. And I just really felt, honestly, I really enjoyed this episode, and it was a very good episode. episode on top of that, so that's always a plus when you can enjoy something and it's very good. Art, animation, check. Story, getting to know Rebecca and what she's about and what she's been through, and it was really sad stuff. It honestly gave me some, you know, reminiscent feelings of how I felt when I saw Nami's backstory or Robin's backstory. It's, you know, similar along lines of that. Probably not as tragic as some of them, but it's still pretty fucking tragic at the same time. I mean, losing her mother and losing everything, and the final thing that her mother tried to do was just to bring her some food. Sad stuff. And again, overall, One Piece plucked at the heartstrings with this one. I'm gonna give this one 8 out of 10. Some of the scenes, yeah, again, it's like, I argue back and forth even with myself. It's like, okay, it added to the whole context of the situation, but at the same time, it just felt like a little bit too goofy in a sense, and it's still leaving pieces out to understand overall the grand scheme of things regarding Dressrosa and how everything went down. But as a whole, 8 out of 10, very good episode. I really like getting her backstory, and it's making me look forward to seeing more of Rebecca. Like the anime, I hope it continues to handle things like this. Like if you're gonna add in filler, at least give it, you know, some sort of weight to the episode, and to a certain degree it did. It just really showed the bond and why anybody would give a fuck about a toy soldier. But let me know what you thought of the episode. Did you feel the emotion? Did you cry? Did you feel sad at all? I felt sad, didn't cry or anything like that, but I definitely felt it for Rebecca, losing her mother, being raised by a fucking toy practically, and everything that she had to go through. Hopefully Rebecca pulls through and no more crying. I mean, she's going to the arena with tears in her eye, but I really want to see Rebecca just stand strong and say, I'm Gladiator Rebecca, I have huge jugs, I'm gonna fuck you up. And just your overall thoughts of the episode. Did you think it was a very good one? I felt like it was up there. It was a quality One Piece episode. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, you can do so as well. That'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.